The Vimalakirti Nirdesa Sutra, Chapter 1, The Buddha Land. Because of his deeds in accord with the Dharma, he can dedicate his merits to the benefit of others. Because of this dedication, he can make use of expedient methods, upaya. Because of his expedient methods, he can bring living beings to perfection. Because he can bring them to perfection, his Buddha land is pure. Because of his pure Buddha land, his preaching of the Dharma is pure. Because of his pure preaching, his wisdom is pure. Because of his pure wisdom, his mind is pure. And because of his pure mind, all his merits are pure. Therefore, Ratnarasi, if a bodhisattva wants to win the pure land, he should purify his mind, and because of his pure mind, the Buddha land is pure. As Sariputra was fascinated by the Buddha's awe-inspiring majesty, he thought, if the Buddha land is pure because of the bodhisattva's pure mind, is it because the mind of the world-honored one was not pure when he was still in the bodhisattva stage, that this Buddha land, i.e. this world, is so unclean as we see it now? The Buddha knew of this thought, and said to Shariputra, are the sun and the moon not clean when a blind man does not see their cleanliness? Shariputra said, world-honored one, this is the fault of the blind man, and not that of the sun and moon. The Buddha said, Shariputra, because of their spiritual blindness, living beings do not see the imposing majesty of the Tathagata's pure land. This is not the fault of the Tathagata. Shariputra, this land of mine is pure, but you do not see its purity. Thereupon, Brahma, with a tuft of hair on his head, resembling a conch, said to Shariputra, don't think this Buddha land is impure. Why? Because I see that the land of Shakyamuni Buddha is pure and clean, like a heavenly palace. Shariputra said, I see that this world is full of hills, mountains, pits, thorns, stones, and earth, which are all unclean. Brahma said, because your mind is up and down and disagrees with the Buddha wisdom, you see that this land is unclean. Shariputra, because a bodhisattva is impartial towards all living beings, and his profound mind is pure and clean in accord with the Buddha Dharma, he can see that this Buddha land is also pure and clean. Thereat, the Buddha pressed the toes of his right foot on the ground, and the world was suddenly adorned with hundreds and thousands of rare and precious gems of the great Chiliocosm, like the precious majestic Buddha's pure land adorned with countless precious merits, which the assembly praised as never seen before. In addition, each person present found himself seated on a precious lotus throne.